James Stewart in Christmas is an equation that always seems to reap great results. There's of course Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life and Ernst Lubitsch's A Shop Around the Corner. There's even the underrated Bell, Book and Candle. But one Christmas classic starring James Stewart is often overlooked for how obscure and late into his career it was. Mr. Krueger's Christmas is a TV movie produced by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, released in 1980. It follows a man alone on Christmas and his different daydreams of being with friends and spending the holiday with anyone. James Stewart was in his early 70s while filming Mr. Krueger's Christmas. Despite being Presbyterian, he loved the message of Mr. Krueger's Christmas and found it universal for all Christian faiths. Seeing him give such a memorable performance, especially this late in his career, is really neat. For being such a sweet tale, it's a shame how underrated it is. Only my friends in the LDS Church have heard of it, as well as the die-hard James Stewart fans. Today I want to talk about why I think it's a Christmas classic. Willie Krueger is our main character in tonight's tale, a custodian for the Beck apartment building in which he resides. The movie begins with him sweeping the lobby, only for it to be messed up moments later by an attendant with a tree. You immediately understand what kind of person Mr. Krueger is based on his reaction. Instead of complaining about the inconvenience, he helps open the door and carry the tree successfully to the elevator. Ebenezer Scrooge would complain and refuse to clean the mess, but Willie Krueger has already revealed how he's different. Despite having a fitting name for a grumpy old man, Mr. Krueger is anything but that. Throughout the short runtime, his actions reveal just how kind he is. We see him interact with others, donate money to charity, and offer his home for warmth and hot chocolate. The scene is already set when Mr. Krueger arrives home with the runt of a Christmas tree and only the company of George. Oh, and also George is a cat. Meow. I swear they named him after George Bailey. The point of loneliness during Christmas is emphasized even more when he throws on a Tabernacle Choir record and vocally expresses his love for his deceased wife.
Merry Christmas, Martha.
We're only 5 minutes into Mr. Krueger's Christmas and we already know so much about him. I think it's impressive how good this TV movie is at portraying loneliness in such a short runtime. One of my weaknesses is seeing elderly people sad. It's usually the ones who are missing loved ones or scared of death or just sad to be alone. A few examples of this include Dick Johnson is Dead, Akiru, Make Way for Tomorrow, and Wild Strawberries. Each of these movies exhibit the inevitable fact of getting old. It's not easy. In fact, it's quite the depressing feat. We haven't seen Mr. Krueger's life up until now. This is no It's a Wonderful Life. We don't get a backstory of Willie Krueger when he was a child, a young man, or when he was married. We don't even know if he has children. What we do know is that he's all alone on Christmas night, and that's not how Christmas should be for anyone. After wishing his late wife a Merry Christmas, he dozes off and dreams about conducting the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. The sequence is a bit dated and even a little cheesy, but the message really hits home. Mr. Krueger's dreaming about conducting this well-known choir shows his desire for purpose and longing for acknowledgement. The daydream could have had him singing in the choir, but he's specifically conducting it, which tells us he just wants to be seen. When he finishes conducting them, they give him a standing ovation. I feel like this is the first time we see the James Stewart we know and love. His response is genuine, and you can just tell he is thankful for the support and praise. This daydream says a lot about loneliness, especially around the Christmas season. The movie continues with a visit from Christmas carolers and the introduction of Clarissa, a young girl who plays a large role. There's a special moment when, amidst the singing, Mr. Krueger and Clarissa view the nativity scene together. The two of them share a smile that's just about as warming as a crackling fire. After an abrupt departure from the carolers, there's a quiet moment with just Mr. Krueger and George. We see him staring outside the window, and though he doesn't say anything, you know he's full of thought, and maybe even reminiscing on life. Something I think James Stewart is a master at is body language. This short clip of him standing there quietly, full of thought, reminds me of a similar scene in It's a Wonderful Life. George Bailey's brother has just arrived home from college with unexpected news that he's been married and will be taking a job at his father-in-law's company. This is unfortunate for George because Harry was set to replace him at their father's company so George could leave their hometown. The way James Stewart shows his defeat, all in a moment to himself, is so powerful. Now I could cite many other examples, but this one is a standout, and since this is Christmas, might as well stick with a theme. After noticing Clarissa left her mittens behind and placing them on his tree as a decoration, he recalls the nativity scene set up on the table and begins daydreaming once more. This is my favorite daydream of the movie and really my favorite scene. Mr. Krueger has a chance to be present at the birth of Jesus Christ, and his words are beautiful. He has no present to give, but does have a moment to just thank Christ for the many blessings from his life.
I love you. You're my closest, my finest friend, and that means that I can hold my head high wherever I go. Thank you.
James Stewart never lost his talent for acting. In fact, I would even consider this scene to be amongst James Stewart's best performances. When Clarissa returns for her mittens, she asks why they've been placed on his tree, to which Mr. Krueger responds,
Well, you remind me of everything good about Christmas. I just couldn't think of a better place. Here.
The movie ends with him joining the Christmas carolers and having people to spend Christmas with. It's a TV movie with only around 25 minutes to its name, but within those 25 minutes, it's so applicable to the Christmas season. James Stewart's performance as Willie Krueger parallels John Wayne's performance in The Shooter. The Shooter could be considered a love letter of John Wayne's career and all the westerns he starred in. In a way, Mr. Krueger's Christmas is James Stewart's love letter. Most of his characters were the good guy. Many of them looked out for each other and served others if given the opportunity. I can't think of a better character to play toward the end of an actor's career than Willie Krueger, custodian at Beck Apartments. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a Merry Christmas.